What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Look at this nice and beautiful question on the board that we're going to be solving. And the question says, find all solutions of x for which x plus 9 to the fourth plus x plus 11 to the fourth is equal to 706. Well, notice that 9 and 11, okay, again. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Look at this nice and beautiful question on the board that we're going to be solving. And the question says, find all solutions of x for which x plus 9 to the fourth plus x plus 11 to the fourth is equal to 706. Notice that 10 is between 9 and 11. And because of that, I'm going to be modifying what I have inside of this bracket and what I have inside of this bracket. So what I have here can be written as x plus, since 10 is between 9 and 11, I'm going to be writing 10. But 10 minus 1 will give us 9. So, and this expression is raised to power 4. Plus, we do the same thing here. This becomes x plus 10. But I need to add 1 to 10 to get 11. So, plus 1. And this is raised to power 4. Equal to 706. Now, we see that we have x plus 10 here, and we also have x plus 10 here. So we can easily say that let z be equal to x plus 10. So this expression simplifies to z minus 1 to the power of 4 plus this other expression becomes z plus 1, that's z plus 1 to the fourth, and this is equal to 706. Our next step will be for us to use binomial expansion to expand this and expand this. So using binomial expansion to expand this, I'm going to be having z to the fourth minus 4z to the 3 plus 6z to the 2 minus 4z and then plus 1. This is for this. Now plus, so I'm going to be putting the plus here, which is this plus here. And now let's expand this using the binomial expansion. So we're going to be getting z to the fourth plus 4z to the third plus 6z squared plus 4z and then plus 1. And this is equal to 706. Now let's add up these two expressions. So z to the fourth plus z to the fourth gives 2z to the fourth. Now this is negative 4z cubed plus 4z cubed. This will cancel out. And now adding this together, 6z squared plus 6z squared, I'm going to be having plus 12z squared. This will cancel out. And now 1 plus 1, I'm going to be having 2 equal to 706. So I write 706. Now let's factor out this expression. You notice that 2 is common. So let's factor out 2. So 2 out. What will remain? So 2z to the fourth divided by 2. I have z to the fourth plus 12z squared divided by 2. I'm going to be having 6z squared plus 2 divided by 2, I'm going to be having 1 equal to 706. Our next step will be for us to divide both sides by 2. So I'll divide the left hand side by 2. I'll also divide the right hand side by 2. So 2 divided 2 goes out from the left, leaving behind z to the fourth plus 6z squared plus 1 equal to, and now 706 divided by 2, I'm going to be having 353. Our next step will be for us to move this 353 to the left hand side, so that we have z to the fourth plus 6z squared plus 1. As 353 crosses to the left, it becomes negative 353 equal to 0. So this simplifies into z to the fourth plus 6z squared. Now 1 minus 353, I'm going to be having minus 352 equal to 0. So we have a quartic equation. Well, I can simplify this quartic equation to look like a quadratic equation. That means I'm going to be writing this quartic equation in terms of a quadratic equation in z squared. So z to the fourth is the same as z squared raised to the power of 2. That's it. Because from indices, 2 times 2 gives 4 plus 6z squared minus 352 equal to 0. Now let's go ahead and factorize this quadratic equation in z squared. So let's go ahead and factorize this quadratic equation. You notice that negative 352 has factors of negative 16 and 22. Their multiplication gives negative 352 and their addition gives 6. So let's factor this. So this becomes z squared minus 16. So minus 16 times z squared plus 22 equal to 0. We can further simplify this 16 to be z squared minus 16 is same as 4 squared. That's it. So times z squared plus 22 equal to 0. Now notice that this is in the form of difference of 2 squared. And difference of 2 squared, for example, let's say a squared minus b squared can be written as a minus b times a plus b. So let's go ahead and express this in terms of this. So this expression can now be z minus 4 times z plus 4. So I've been able to express this like this. Now times z squared plus 22 equal to 0. So we have 3 cases. We have z minus 4 to be equal to 0. We also have z plus 4 to be equal to 0. And we have the last case, which is z squared plus 22 to be equal to 0. So let's solve the first case. But before we solve the first case, we're going to be recalling that, remember we said let x plus 10 be equal to z. Remember? Cool. So we're going to be putting what we have here, this z, we're going to be putting this expression for z. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is z. which represent x plus 10. So I'm going to be writing for case 1, z represent x plus 10. So x plus 10, that's z, minus 4. So minus 4 is equal to 0. So x, now 10 minus 4, I'm going to be having 6 equal to 0. So the value of x for our first case, by moving 6 to the right hand side, becomes minus 6. So this is one value for x. Now for our case 2, I'm going to be writing case 2 here. Remember, x plus 10 is equal to z. So we're going to be writing that in place of this z. So this is z. So I'll be writing x plus 10 in place of that, plus 4 equal to 0. So this is equal to 0. So this becomes x. Now 10 plus 4, I'm going to be having 14 equal to 0. So moving 14 to the right hand side, x becomes negative 14. So I've been able to get two solutions for x. And now to get the other solutions, we're going to be going for the third case. So I'll call this case 3. Remember, x plus 10 is z. So this is z, which is represented as x plus 10. So since it is squared, I'm going to be squaring this. And then plus 22, so plus 22 equal to 0. Now, on expanding this, I'm going to be having x squared plus 20x plus 100. This is what I got from expanding this. And then plus 22, so plus 22 equal to 0. So this expression becomes x squared plus 20x and then plus 100 plus 22 is 122 equal to 0. Now we have a quadratic equation. This quadratic equation cannot be factorized. So we're going to be using the general formula to solve this. So a here is the coefficient of x squared, and that is 1. B is the coefficient of x, and that is 20. And c is the constant term, which is 122. So using the general formula, we have x to be equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So let's go ahead and substitute. So x will be equal to negative b, that's negative b is 20, plus or minus the square root of b squared, that's 20 squared, minus 4 times a times c, that is 4 times a is 1, times c is 122. Let's extend this all over 2a, that's 2 times a, which is 1. So this becomes x equal to negative 20 plus or minus the square root of, now 20 squared is 400, minus 4 times 1 times 122, I'm going to be having 488 all over. Now 2 times 1 is 2. So x will be equal to negative 20 plus or minus the square root of 400 minus 488. I'm going to be having negative 88 all over 2. So this is going to be giving us a complex number. So x will be equal to negative 20 plus or minus the square root of, now this can be simplified into 88 times negative 1 all over 2. So x will be equal to negative 20 plus or minus, now this can be separated into the square root of 88 times the square root of negative 1 all over 2. Now let's continue. So this becomes x equal to negative 20 plus or minus the square root of 88, that's 2 root 22, and the square root of negative 1, that's I, all over 2. Now let's go ahead and factor 2 out in the numerator since 2 is common. So x will be equal to, factor out 2. Now negative 20 divided by 2, that's negative 10, plus or minus 2 root 22i divided by 2. I'm going to be having the square root of 22i, all over 2. Now 2 here can cancel out the 2, so that we have x to be equal to negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 22i. So let's go ahead and separate these solutions. So x is equal to negative 10, taking the positive side, plus the square root of 22i. And the other solution is x equal to negative 10. And now this time, taking the negative side, negative the square root of 22i. So we have 2 real solutions for x, and we have 2 complex solutions for x. Well, feel free to share your ideas in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and have learned something from this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.